Welcome. My name is Douglas Getz, and you've found your way to the Diving and Thriving podcast. Here, we have enlightening conversations about how we can better navigate this sometimes crazy world we live in. From refreshing spiritual perspectives to tips about personal growth, the focus here is about how we can become better human beings. So I'd like to thank you for being here today, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today, and thank you for being here, really. So this is the first podcast, and it's getting put together in a crazy time right now with coronavirus happening. But the main reason I'm putting this podcast together, one, is because I've had some fantastic conversations with many people over my 24 years so far. And I wanted to share some of those brilliant tidbits that I've come across from. And plus, I'm a big communicator. I love talking with people. And this is such a fantastic way to just share those awesome conversations that I've had with people over however many years, and just put out some goodness and wholeness into the world. So thank you for coming here, whether you're a friend or family, or you heard about it through someone else, or you're browsing back in the archives and listening to this one. Thank you for being here. You're appreciated and you're loved. So, yeah, the one thing that comes to mind is this whole coronavirus that's currently going on right now. And it's interesting. If you watch the news, it's very fear-based, and it's very negative, very focused on deaths and the infection, and it's spreading, and very cast in that light. And there's an opposite perspective to it, which is that with all the major transportation shutting down, and with the economies of pretty much every country coming to a halt, it's allowed Mother Nature a chance to start rejuvenating and healing. And that's one of the benefits of it all. And one of the fantastic aspects of that we get to choose from is we get to choose where we put our attention. So we can choose to put our attention on the lack and what's not happening and what we're missing out on. Or we can choose to focus on the good and aspects like Mother Nature's healing, and we get to reconnect with ourselves and our families. And it's kind of slowed us down from our very busy pace of what we've been usually doing, which is get up, go to work, or have a schedule that we adhere to. And we've been forced to reflect and sit with ourselves. And it's been a very interesting time. I found myself, if I get caught up in too many electronics, whether it's TV or my phone and browsing social media and whatnot, and if I'm going from one electronic to the other, it really doesn't give me a feeling of satisfaction. It's just about what's next, and just constantly looking for something instead of taking a step back and slowing down a little bit and really enjoying the moment for what it is. Because the moment is actually really enjoyable, can be really enjoyable if you look at it that way, if you focus on that. But it's interesting how easy it is to get distracted. And if we can't get ourselves out of that loop or out of that cycle, it really just goes on all day and flows into the next day. So that shows the importance of techniques and like meditation or yoga or really anything that gives us the chance to reconnect with ourselves and tap into who we truly are. Because, you know, it's interesting. I watched a video and it said back in the early 1900s, late 1800s, before we had electronics and TVs and smartphones and everything, before we were really bombarded with electronics, it said it was easier for us to be human, which was an interesting thing to put, because I never, younger age groups, 20, 30 or whatnot, we've always had TV, we've always had electronics. And it's interesting now that it's become more integrated into our society and our way of life and our daily routine, is that, you know, there was a time when we didn't have any of this. You know, you'd have to go outside and find something interesting to do. And those times are still here, but they've kind of been pushed to the background. And, you know, if we get caught in that whole cycle of TV and phone and just internet and whatnot, we really have to make an effort to break away from that at times. So I think that's a fantastic thing for us to do during this time, is to really reconnect with ourselves and, you know, go back to some of those things that we used to do as families, whether that's playing board games, or that's reading a book, or, you know, doing artwork, playing music, knitting or crocheting or cooking, baking, just anything that ends up being hands-on or stimulating in a way that it's not just putting you in a dumbed down or dulled state, which, you know, TV's not bad. Our phones are not bad. Our phones are great. Television is great. But it's the level at which we use it, which can be good or can be bad. So, just like everything, it's really up to us, the user, of whether we take advantage of it or not. And, you know, I think especially during this time, me personally, I've really noticed if I get caught up in TV or my phone and I'm not really paying attention to either, you know, it doesn't really matter what I'm doing in that moment. But if I have a chance, if I can go out on a walk, or if I can do some yoga, or get into nature for a little bit, it's that break from that constant aspect of what's next that allows me to number one, breathe, because that's so important, and two is consciously choose what's next. And that's much better than just, all right, I guess I'll do that, or I guess I'll do this. You know, we start to purposefully create what comes next for us. And that's how we really start to shape our lives. Because it's either we do that, or we just let other people shape our lives, or we don't really go through life with purposeful intention. And you know, periods of our life where we don't feel like we have a purpose, or we're unsure of ourselves, or we're still finding ourselves, those are beneficial times too. But we get to choose from the contrast and seeing what we like and what we don't like, and the things that make us feel good, the foods that make us feel good, the interactions that make us feel good. And ideally, we slowly gravitate to just choosing those more and more. And that's really what it's about. I've realized in this period how much we rely on social interaction and connection to feel well and to experience life and experience goodness and spirit. That connection is so valuable because we're not alone on this world. There's 7, almost 8 billion people on this planet, and we're here together. We're experiencing all of this together, and at times we can sometimes feel alone, and that's not the most beneficial for us. So just being able to open up and talk about our feelings, our thoughts, our intentions, what we want to do in life, what we want to create with somebody else feels great. And you know, it's interesting. It's sometimes you need more people than just your family. Sometimes you need more than just your friends. You need a variety of it all. And to be able to talk to different types of people from different backgrounds and who have different mindsets and whatnot, you can really pick and choose what aspects of that really are most appealing to you. So really this life is such a learning process. It really gives us the chance to figure out who we are and who we want to be and what makes us tick. And once we start to figure that out, the world starts to open up to us, because once we figure out what we like attracts more things of what we like, and we can slowly start to sift through that. And it's really important that we're charting our own paths versus allowing someone else to chart our path, because it feels, just for the fact that it feels that much better, you know. If we're going down a path that somebody else has laid out for us, whether it's become a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer for the fact that it makes a lot of money, and we get into that field, you know, the worst thing in life is really the feeling of regret and sticking with it, knowing you're not passionate about it. Thankfully, I've been able to experience that at different points and say, no, this is just not for me. And I've been able to break out of it, which I'm really thankful for. And I've had fantastic parents, my mom and my dad. My dad's promoted me to be a free thinker and do my own thing, follow my own path. And my mom has been so supportive and loving and caring. And you know, I've been blessed, and for people who are less fortunate, you know, there are things that are out there. There are resources. There's support groups, and we really have to remember that we're not alone on this journey. That if we feel lonely or if we feel lost, there are other people that feel that too, and we can connect with them. We can reach out to them through support groups, through virtual chats, through phone calls, through a variety of different means. And really, it's that connection that really inspires, that really makes this life worth it. So I'll end it there. Let's remember to stay connected with each other and really spread some love and be thankful and express gratitude, and really just do our best to raise our vibration and help raise everyone else's vibration, because in doing that, we create a better planet for everyone. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being here, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Peace, love, and let's raise the vibration of humanity together. Peace out.